All right, so dividing exponents. So these, I kind of touched a little bit on the multiplying exponent video, but these are fairly straightforward. Basically, when you are dividing exponents, you're going to kind of follow the same kind of path we did with multiplying. So let's go through these first. So it wants me to expand this fraction, 4 over 4. Doesn't have any exponents or anything, so I can't really expand it. So it should be 4 over 4, right? One each. Okay, then if I simplified it, can I simplify this? What's 4 divided by 4? They would cancel each other out and it'd become 1, right? So the simplified form would just be 1. And that'd be my final answer there. Okay, let's look at one with exponents though. That just kind of shows you that the numbers, if they're the same, they cancel each other out when they're in fraction form or dividing like that. So this one, I have 3 to the third power over 3 squared. So let's expand it out. So 3 to the third power to have 3 3's multiplying with each other, right? And then 3 to the second power to have 2 3's. Now if we look at it and we do what we did up here, the ones, each 3 would cancel out the other 3 from the top, from bottom there. So like these 2 would cancel out, and these 2 would cancel out. And I'd just be left with 1 times 3, which 1 times 3 would just be 3. So simplified form would just be 3. Okay? Not too tough, right? Let's try it again. And again, look for a rule, because there is a quick rule that we can figure out just looking at the exponents here. So 3 over 2 became just a 3 there. Let's look at this one. So 6 to the 5th power over 6 to the 3rd power. So let's expand them out. So we have 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. So there's 5 6's. And that is over 3 6's. Okay, so when we cancel them out, this 6 would cancel out that 6. So on, I'm left with 2. That would become 6 to the 2nd power, and there's nothing underneath, right? Except for 1, which when it's a whole number you don't really need. And then when you simplify, 6 squared would become 36. So 6 to the 5th power over 3 became 6 to the 2nd power. What kind of operation or shortcut could we figure out there? Okay, I'll come back to it. Let's do one with a variable. So let's look at the b's. So b to the 9th over b to the 6th power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 b's. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 b's. So again, if any number is going to cancel out its other number as a fraction, b would cancel out b, and so on. And how many b's are left? We've got 3 b's on top. So that's going to become b to the 3rd power. And that's as simplified as we can get it, b to the 3rd power, because I don't know what b is. Okay, so if I look at it, 3 over 2, 3 to the 3rd power over 3 squared became just 3 to the 1 power. 6 to the 5th power over 6 to the 3rd power became 6 to the 2nd. b to the 9th over b to the 6th became to the 3rd. If I take 3 and minus 2, what do I get? 1. If I take 5 and minus 3, what do I get? 2. 9 minus 6, I get 3. So basically, if you just take the top exponent and minus the bottom exponent, you're going to get your answer. And that'll always work as long as they have the same base. Again, you have to have the same base for this rule to work. So let's look at some examples on the assignment. Okay, so if I look at the exponents here, I've got 5 to the 4th over 5, which would be like saying 1, right? What's 4 minus 1? It would be 3. So I could just quickly write 5 to the 3rd. 5 to the 3rd is going to be 125. And that would be your answer right there. And that's it. Okay? And if I look at this one, 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 2nd power, again, you subtract the exponents. 4 minus 2 is going to be 2. be 2 squared. And that would be just 4, right? And that's all it really comes down to. This one's a little bit different because I have negative 7k to the negative 2 over 4k to the third. So these aren't the same base, so I can't really do anything with them. But if I look at this, these two have the same base. What's negative 2 minus 3? Okay, negative 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 5. So if it was a negative 5, that means it would have to go downstairs to become happy. And the negative 7 would stay upstairs, and you'd be left with 4k to the now positive 5th power. And that's all you would have to do. And that's basically what you're doing with the dividing exponents.